Hello and welcome to our Great British Finned Friends sightings video for April 2021. April was generally a cold but settled sunny month, providing good opportunities for spotting whales and dolphins over much of the British Isles, and only brief periods of strong winds in the Northern Isles and the Northern Irish Sea. With continued easing of COVID-19 restrictions, the number of sighting reports received increased further from last month, with 395 sightings of 10 cetacean species. Harbour porpoises were seen with increasing frequency all around the coasts of Britain. Sightings were often of slightly larger groups than in March, although most numbered 8 individuals or less. An aggregation of 15 porpoises were counted from Cromegh Heg Lighthouse, Mull of Galloway, southwest Scotland on the 14th of April. And 10 porpoises were seen at Oxwich Point, near Swansea, South Wales on the 18th of April. Bottlenose dolphins were sighted in several regions. In the North Sea they were reported in the Moray Firth, off the coast of Angus and East Lothian in eastern Scotland, all along the east coast of England from Berwick upon Tweed and Newbiggin by the Sea, in Northumberland south to Scarborough, and Filly on the North Yorkshire coast. Numbers ranged from single animals up to groups of 30 individuals. There were 2 sightings reported on the south coast of England, one of 2 animals in the Solent between the Isle of Wight and the mainland on the 17th of April, and a second of around 30 individuals from neighbouring Hampshire on the 21st. There were several sightings of groups of up to 20 bottlenose dolphins in Guernsey, Herm and Sark in the Channel Islands. In the Irish Sea there was an interesting record of 2 individuals, probably of this species at Manorbier, Pembrokeshire, but otherwise sightings were in Cardigan Bay, around the northwest coast, off the Llyn Peninsula, Llanbadrig in North Anglesey, and in Conway, as well as all around the Isle of Man. Most sightings were of small groups, with the maximum being 20 off on Chan in the Isle of Man. Finally, up to 4 bottlenose dolphins were sighted at several locations around the Isle of Mull. There was an increased number of sightings of common dolphins reported during April from locations all around the British Isles. The more unusual sightings occurred well into the North Sea, with sightings of small groups in southeast Scotland, off Arbroath and at the entrance to the River Forth near Dunmore. Further north there were 2 sightings in Orkney. Most common dolphins were seen in the West English Channel off Berry Head in South Devon, with groups numbering up to 50 animals, and in the Isles of Scilly off West Cornwall, with school sizes of up to 300 estimated. Further east in the Channel, a group of 70 common dolphins was seen 9 miles off Guernsey in the Channel Islands. In the Irish Sea, there were sightings of small groups off Pembrokeshire and the Isle of Man, whilst over 200 were counted off Skerinish in Argyllshire and small numbers in the Minches. There were just 4 reports of white-beaked dolphins during the month. A single animal was seen off Happisburgh in Norfolk, with a further 10 off the Essex coast. At the other end of the UK, a pod of 8 was seen off Leavenwick in South Shetland, and 4 at Port Voller on the Eye Peninsula in the Minch. April is a month when we tend to have several sightings of Risso's dolphin, and this year was no exception. Most sightings were in the Northern Isles of Shetland and Orkney, as well as Caithness coast, with small pods of between 2 and 10 individuals. Further south, similar sized groups were between 2 and 6 were seen at Port Linus in northeast Anglesey and around Port Erin in the Isle of Man, and between Mullion and Kynance Cove in West Cornwall, where a pod of 8 was seen. Killer whales continued to be seen through the month in northern Britain, particularly in Shetland and Orkney. Most sightings in Shetland were believed to be the same pod of 8 animals, although smaller pods counted in Orkney and off the Sutherland coast were probably breakaway groups from this northern community. A little further south, there were 2 sightings in the outer Moray Firth, one of 4 individuals 6 miles off Hopeman in Moray, and a second of 2 individuals off Loggy Head in Aberdeenshire. Finally, in the North Minch, 4 killer whales were spotted east of Sizadar on the Isle of Lewis. It was a bumper month for a variety of baleen whales, with 4 species identified. As to be expected, minke whales were the most frequently reported, with several sightings in the Inner Hebrides north of Mull, as well as south of Barrow Head in the Sea of Hebrides and in the North Minch east of Stornoway. All were of 1 to 2 animals except for 4 counted off Brevig in the North Minch. There were also sightings in Orkney and off Covesea and Berg Head in the Moray Firth. The most unusual sightings were of a sei whale between the 10th and the 24th of April in the Firth of Forth of Kinghorn in Fife and across to Whitbourne Bay in West Lothian. A single fin whale was also reported from Scotland off Hobbister in Orkney on the 14th of April, and there were 5 humpback whale sightings, 2 in Orkney and 1 off John O'Groats, a 3rd off Wick and a 4th sighting off Gartymore by Helmsdale on the 10th and 11th of April, and probably of the same animal, although we could not confirm that. 10 species of cetaceans, not to mention basking sharks in Cornwall, cannot be bad for April. Roll on the summer. If you want to support our work, please visit www.seawatchfoundation.org.uk. There are many ways you can support Sea-Watch: by adopting a dolphin, becoming a member of our Sea-Watcher membership, or by making a small donation. Thank you.